The timestamp on the server log read 3:42 a.m., Tokyo Standard Time. Deep within the sublevels of the Toyota Technical Center in Shimoyama, a junior engineer sat bathed in the cold glow of 3 monitors, his finger hovering over the enter key. Trembling not from the excessive caffeine in his system but from the realization that the data packet he was about to upload didn't just contain engine calibration metrics. It contained a lie that would eventually cost the world's largest automaker $65 billion. This wasn't a clerical error. This wasn't a glitch in the simulation software. This was the systematic, deliberate alteration of crash safety timers. A digital sleight of hand designed to ensure that the side curtain airbags deployed milliseconds faster in the laboratory than they ever would on the asphalt. This is not merely a story about cars. It is an autopsy of the Japanese corporate soul. A forensic dismantling of Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement, that was bastardized into a philosophy of continuous cover-up. We are standing at the precipice of the greatest industrial betrayal in modern history. Looking down into the engine block of a machine that has been running on fraudulent oil for decades. To understand how Toyota, the paragon of reliability, the brand that built its empire on the promise that its cars would run forever, found itself suspending shipments of 10 different models and facing the wrath of the transport ministry. We have to peel back the polished corporate lacquer and look at the rusting metal underneath. The crisis didn't begin with the recent engine certification scandal. It began years ago. In a boardroom where the mandate to beat Tesla and BYD created a pressure cooker that melted ethical firewalls. The world watched in horror as the Daihatsu scandal broke, revealing that the small car subsidiary had been rigging side collision safety tests for over 30 years. 30 years of falsified data. 30 years of selling cars that were structurally different from the ones smashed into barriers by regulators. But the terrifying reality, the secret that keeps investors awake at night, is that the rot didn't stop at the subsidiary level. It climbed the corporate ladder. It infected the main arteries of Toyota Motor Corporation itself. When Akio Toyoda bowed before the cameras, his face a mask of shame and exhaustion. Apologizing for the irregularities in diesel engine horsepower certification, the world saw a contrite CEO. But the forensic evidence suggests something far darker, a systemic culture of silence where engineers were terrified to report delays, where the just-in-time production method became a just-in-time fabrication of results. The Land Cruiser, the Hilux, the Hiace, vehicles that are the backbone of infrastructure in developing nations, were suddenly grounded. Why? Because the electronic control units, ECUs, used during certification testing were running different software than the ECUs in the cars sitting in your driveway. Let that sink in. The brain of the car was lobotomized for the test, and then rewired for the road. This is the Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal, but with a terrifying twist. Volkswagen lied about emissions. Toyota is accused of lying about the very physics that keep you alive in a crash. The implications of the Grand Highlander recall are even more chilling. Here we have a flagship family hauler, a vehicle designed to transport the most precious cargo, abruptly issued a do not drive advisory because the driver's side airbag might not deploy if the window is rolled down. It sounds like a joke, a glitch in the matrix, but it reveals a rushing of the development cycle that borders on criminal negligence. As we analyze the supply chain documents, we see a pattern of squeezed suppliers, forced to deliver components at costs and timelines that defied the laws of manufacturing. Something had to give. And what gave was the truth. The 1GD, 2GD, and F-33A engines are not just pieces of metal. They are the result of thousands of hours of engineering. Yet the certification data for these powerhouses was smoothed over, manipulated to match the torque curves promised in the marketing brochures rather than the reality of the dynamometer readings. This $65 billion figure isn't just the potential cost of recalls and fines. It is the vaporization of brand equity. It is the cost of trust. When you buy a Toyota, you are buying a promise that the wheel won't fall off, that the airbag will fire, that the engine won't seize. That promise has been breached. We need to talk about the end cord. In the Toyota production system, any worker on the line can pull the end cord to stop production if they see a defect. It was the ultimate symbol of quality control. But investigative reports now suggest that in the engineering offices, the end cord was cut. Anyone who tried to pull it, anyone who tried to flag that the development timeline for the new electric architecture was impossible, was silenced or transferred. This culture of fear created an echo chamber where bad news was filtered out before it reached the executive suite, leaving the leadership blind to the catastrophe until the regulators kicked down the door. The irony is suffocating. Toyota spent decades mocking the rush-to-market strategy of Silicon Valley EV startups, claiming that legacy auto did things properly, thoroughly, safely. And now, we find that the legacy giant was faking its homework to keep up with the disruptors. The specific technical failure in the airbag sensors of the Grand Highlander and Lexus TX involves a supplier capability issue, yes. But Toyota approved the component. They integrated it. They signed off on it. The buck stops at the top. And the market knows it. Institutional investors are quietly offloading stock, hedging against a Toyota panic that could trigger a global automotive recession. If the world loses faith in Toyota's safety, the ripple effect collapses the resale value of 100 million vehicles globally. It destroys the lease residuals. It bankrupts dealerships. This is not just a car company in trouble. This is a pillar of the global economy showing stress fractures in its foundation. The sheer scale of the deception regarding the pedestrian safety tests, where data on impact angles was falsified, suggests that this wasn't about one rogue engineer. You don't fake impact angles by accident. You do it because the design is flawed, the hood is too stiff, the crumple zone is too rigid. And you don't have the 6 months or the $500 million needed to retool the stamping dies. So you change the number in the spreadsheet. You change the angle in the report. And you pray nobody checks. Well, somebody checked. The Japanese Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism didn't just raid the headquarters. They publicly shamed the icon of Japanese industry. This is the end of the era of blind trust. We are now entering the era of verification, and for Toyota, the audit is just beginning. The question is not whether they can fix the airbags or the engine software. The question is whether they can fix the cultural DNA that allowed this cancer to metastasize. Because right now, every Toyota on the road is a rolling question mark, and the answer is costing them billions by the hour.